what was coming to light is that a lot of us think that faith is only to be associated in a religious context or our religion. But when we talk about faith, when I talk about faith, we're talking about the faith that transcends religious designations, the faith that really goes down to the core of our being. It's the faith that really catalyzes our existence. That is the deep knowing. It's a certain knowing that you can't even put your finger on. You can't describe it easily. You can't shape it. You can't put it in a vase. You can't put it in a bottle. But it's a faith that permeates what we do. It's a faith that permeates the way we act, the way we speak, the way we respond to different situations. And it's the faith that helps us to choose what to do and what not to do. And that kind of faith is, in Sanskrit, they call it nishtha. It's an unshakable faith. It's unshakable certainty. And the thing is that the problem is that people feel that they've got to get that faith straight away, that it's got to come overnight, or that it's got to be there. And people get into this black and white mode. And I think this is the problem. People think that they've got to either have that faith, or if they don't, then game over. But it's not like that. Faith develops over time. You know, just like when you're in a relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship or a friendship, that faith develops over time, that trust that you have in somebody. And, you know, as you be with somebody, as you interact with that person, whether it's a partner, whether it's a friend, whether it's a manager at work or an employee, as you see how they respond and deal with you, as you see how they perform, how they act, how they are with others, how they conduct themselves, then that faith that you have in them starts to build. And so faith is a progressive graduation. And therefore, I want to put to you, what faith are you investing in yourself, in your abilities, in your ability to be able to recognize and cut yourself the slack that you're not going to be perfect overnight. You're not going to be, forget being perfect, but you're not going to be excellent overnight, that you're not going to necessarily have everything that you need or want to be that quickly. But it's the faith that that next step can be climbed. You know, instead of looking at the top of the staircase, the goals that are like the top of a staircase, if we start to look at the steps that make up that staircase, that is what faith is showing us. Faith is showing us that each step we take is leading us towards that ultimate destination. Faith is not about reaching the destination just like that. It's the faith and the journey that leads us to that destination. So what faith are you putting in yourself? How are you cultivating that likability factor, that knowingness within yourself that the abilities that you have are there? And I would put to you that meditation, reflection, journaling, some self-honesty, and some hard talk, some self-talk is the way to start to build that faith. And each time your inner critic starts to speak and tell you that you're not good enough, you're not capable enough, you're not worthy enough, recognize it, acknowledge it, and then move on. See, we don't need to be beholden. We only need to acknowledge our emotions and acknowledge our inner critic. We don't need to be beholden to it. We don't need to be beholden to our emotions. We need to rise above those emotions. In the Bhagavad Gita, it talks about transcending the modes, to be beyond that material attachment. So with mindfulness, meditation, reflection and journaling, you can use these as avenues and inroads to discover your faith and start to cultivate it and build it. And so on that note, I'd like to share a little bit of singing. I haven't been singing and playing piano for a while now. It feels like being under lockdown and other responsibilities, especially some social activism that I've been doing. Some of you have been following, you know that I've been working as hard as I can with some really great individuals, volunteers, to tackle the negative implications and actions of our local government here in Northwest London in the form of LTNs, low traffic neighbourhoods, roadblocks that have essentially split our roads into pieces and disrupted huge numbers of our communities and made it really hard for them to go about their work, their lives, especially during this climate when COVID is there. It's actually a time where we are having to dig deep into our own faith and to start investing faith in people that we don't necessarily know. We're working with strangers and other members of our community, neighbors that we've never met, people on other streets that we never knew, and yet we're coming together and we're slowly investing that faith in one another to tackle a common cause, which is the injustice of the local government. So think about faith, and in that vein, I want to share a little song. It's a song that's close to me about faith by one of my favorite rock bands, Journey. For those of you who lived in the 70s and 80s, you will remember Journey. Don't Stop Believing, Who's Crying Now, some of these classic songs. And they also did a classic called Faithfully. And I sing this for all of you and for everyone that you hold dear in your life. This is a tribute to all of you and to all of my people. Faithfully by Journey, my rendition.
Highway run to the midnight sun. Wheels go round and round, you're on my mind. Restless hearts sleep alone tonight. Sending all my love along the wire. They say that the road ain't no place to start a family. Right down the lines between you and me. And loving the music, man, ain't what it's supposed to be. Oh, you stand by me. I'm forever yours. Faithfully. Circus life under the big top world. We all need the clowns to make us smile. Middle space, always another show. Wondering where I am, I'm lost without you. And being apart ain't no place for a family. Right down the road it's been you and me. And loving the music, man, ain't always what it's supposed to be. Oh, you
peace and faith for all of you, to all of you. That's it from me, Prash. Namaste.